What's going on, guys? Welcome. So hey, once we hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel and once we hit 1,000 in the Facebook group Resell, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So one of you, actually two of you, are going to win something expensive, something great, something to resell, or maybe even keep. Maybe it'll be a video game console. I haven't decided what the prize is going to be yet, but it's going to be a large one. So make sure you subscribe. And then also in the description, I will link the Facebook group. Make sure you get in there. We're about at 600 right there. We got about 250 subs, so we got a way to go. Help me out, and then I'm going to help you out. Yo, welcome everybody to another What Sold on eBay video. Dad Planet, Brendan here. Nice having you. Thanks for joining me. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, you're gonna learn something this week. This week was the first week in July. I'm feeling the slowdown this week. So while I'm recording this a little bit late, I feel like that's a broken record for me. Like I'm always late to do the videos here. It's just because I've been extremely busy facilitating orders for the last week that has really picked up. This week in July, a little bit slow. You can feel it. You can see I was down 10% from prior time period. 2,600 in sales. The net sales 1,700. But some good bolos here. Definitely some things you probably haven't seen before, and a couple that you have that I want to kind of take you through, like a little bit of a timeline on what I was thinking when certain questions came up in messages, and kind of how I like to control things. So yes, so this will be for the time period of July 1st through the 7th. And yeah, let's just get into it. So first one here, this is going to be a vacuum that's probably pretty challenging to find. It was different looking. It was like contemporary looking, so that's what piqued my interest. Electrolux Intensity Vacuum. The cool thing about this is it folds up, so it could ship pretty easy, or just a little bit more compact, save on shipping costs. It went FedEx ground for a pretty reasonable price. Model number here is EL5020. If you look here, where are we at? It did not come with a bag. The bags were very easy to order online, but this is definitely a Bolo. You can see here the filter was pretty clean, and I did test it, took video of it. This sold within 24 hours for full asking price, $120. Buyer paid $19.48 in shipping and then $9.76 in tax. So they're $149.23 all in, and I paid $9.99 for the vacuum. Now, buyer paid. I got that dreaded message, oh hey, I have to ship this to my son in this instance. So can you do that? My first inkling was to think, this is super annoying, because I believe, and I don't know how to do this any other way, like maybe if there's another way to do this without losing the insurance aspect when you change an address, let me know, because I'm not really sure how else to do this other than to cancel the original listing, relist it, and have them purchase it with the updated address that they needed sent to via PayPal or whatever. Now it's going to be eBay managed payments. But so I reached out to the buyer, not knowing any better, and I was like, hey, I can't really change the address without refunding you the money. But when I do that, I don't get the 5% feedback that PayPal charges me. So I don't mind relisting it for you and then having you switch your address, but I'm going to tack that 5% onto the listing. Buyer was totally okay with, actually they were okay with the idea, but they were like, no, it's no big deal. Just ship it to me, the address that you had listed, and then I'll figure out a way to get it to my son. It's no big deal. So I wasn't afraid to reach out to the buyer and kind of let them know, because I don't think a lot of buyers know that. Like you have to eat that fee, and eBay doesn't give you the chance to give you the restocking fee option. So you're kind of screwed if something like this happens, and it adds up on these huge dollar amount items. So I told the buyer, I was like, hey, here's what's going on, and they were like, nope, just ship it to me to the addresses on it. It's no big deal. It got there, awesome. It all worked out, and everybody was happy. So that was a very good sale. Keep your eye out for this item, but really, don't be afraid to mention to your buyer, hey, just so you know, I'm getting kind of screwed here on these fees, because the outcome is usually positive. So anyway, we'll go to the next one. All right, this item here, the Yamaha PSS140. I can't even begin to tell you how nostalgic this item is. I have probably played, and this is not mine, this is something that I sourced in a store. But I had this as a kid. I sent a picture to my mom immediately when I saw it, and I said, you got me this. I've played probably thousands of hours of like keyboard and drums, and I learned how to play like the Castlevania theme song on this, the Ninja Gaiden theme song for the original NES, for those of you that are familiar with those franchises. I learned how to play those songs on this keyboard. Extremely nostalgic. It was like my heart skipped a beat when I saw it. Not a huge Bolo. I mean, I did get full price, $39.99. Buyer paid $13.72 in shipping, so they're $53.71 all in. It cost me $7.99, but this was just a really neat item because of how much it reminded me of my childhood. And oh, by the way, as soon as I get around to it, like all of those things that I used to love from my childhood, The Legend of Zelda, Transformers. I'm looking for a first generation Optimus Prime and not trying to like pay out the rear end for it because it's going to be around $200-300. I'm going to mount all that stuff on the back wall there, so you'll have something to look at some point. I never buy stuff for myself, so please be patient with me. You'd have to stare at my ugly mug until I get stuff on that back wall. So cool, very cool item. It had the power cord, which, you know, I think probably enhanced the value, and it had the box, so those were neat things. Keep your eye out for like the mini keyboards in general. Like, never be afraid to like scan all of them and check comps. But this is the PSS140. I owned it, so I knew how it worked. Amazing piece, super fun. Hope you find it too. Okay, next one. Hoka. Hoka's no, you know, it's no secret at this point. Now, this item here, it sold for full price, and I knew it would. But before it sold, I had a buyer reach out to me and say, hey, how is the arch, or does this shoe have good arch support? And I answered a one-word answer, no. And then they responded, oh, shucks, I was hoping blah, 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 blah. Now, that was kind of a lie. These shoes have excellent arch support, but I'm trying to control the buyers that I have when I'm selling these items on eBay. So the quintessential buyer for me for this pair of shoes that I know absolutely is going to sell for $50 to someone at some point is I want the buyer that already has that question answered. They already know. They know what they're getting. All they have to do is look at the pictures and say, yep, I want this pair. Like, I've had them before. I know how they feel. I know how they look. I know how they run. I know how I recover when I'm in them. That's the buyer I want. This buyer here, if I say yes, they have great arch support, in my brain, that's a return coming. Hey, you said they were good, but you know, like any little thing that like you put in writing, they'll use against you, and you get an is not as described, and I don't want that. So I kind of told a white lie because I didn't want that person buying this pair of shoes. Does that make sense? So this is me trying to control the buyers that I have, right? I'm not necessarily always a race to the bottom. Like, I don't want that buyer. I don't want the like lowest price buyer. I want a buyer that like knows what they want. They know what they're getting. They're confident that, you know, my feedback is decent enough that they can buy with confidence. So I don't want that buyer. I'm pushing them out of the way. Sure enough, a couple days later, they sold for full price, just like I knew they would, to the buyer that I wanted in the first place, right? So maybe do some of the same things here. Like, you know, did I lie? I mean, I've never worn a pair of Hoka women's shoes, so kind of don't know anyway, but I know enough through selling them that they have excellent arch support, men's or women's, but I don't want that buyer, so that's that story. They paid $9.90 in shipping. They were $59.89 all in. I paid $4.29 for the pair of Hokas. Hokas is a no-brainer. It still is, so cool sale. Okay, so in my last video, I sold a pair of low webbed lawn chairs, and I remember mentioning in that video that I had this particular chair that I knew was going to sell for full price eventually, $120. I think it sold the next day or like 36 hours after recording and uploading that video. So $119.99 I got for this chair. They paid $18.40 in shipping, $8.31 in tax. So they're $146.70 all in. Chair cost me $10. There was a comp that had sold for, if you add this up, like what's 120 and 20, so 140, 150, what did I say? They're 146.70. So there was a comp for 150, so I knew that this was going to sell in the price range that I was asking for, and sure enough, it did. Your window for webbed lawn chairs is closing, so in the next 2 or 3 weeks, like, continue to source them because they'll sell, but they definitely don't sell anywhere near as quickly like in fall and winter season. So keep that in mind, but continue to source them now, at least for the next couple of weeks. It's a $5, $10 buy that you're guaranteed to get, you know, 40 to 100 plus on. So keep your eye out for those chairs still in the short term. Okay, I'm hoping you guys have seen these like mansions in the stores. So they're big, they're bulky. I think some people feel like they might be hard to ship. They're not hard to ship. Like they hold up well. This one went all the way to Florida, and I got full price for it. So this is the FisherPrice Loving Family Grand Mansion. It did not come with any of the accessories. There were no cracks. Everything worked properly. The staircase, sometimes you'll see these in the staircase will be missing. The staircase was here in this instance here. I gave it a wipe down. It was already pretty clean. Sold for full price, 50 bucks. Buyer paid $34.10 to have it shipped. So they're $84.09 all in, and it was $4.99. I have since relisted another one of the same for the exact same price that I also, actually this one I paid $5.99 for, and I'm hoping that that sells soon, but $50 bill on a $5 item, you can't beat it. These are really, really popular. If you can find even the accessories like separate from the houses, that's a Bolo as well. The FisherPrice Loving Family, like mom and dad and grandma. There's a different actually I have a listing of 5 of the figures that in my inventory right now that I have listed for 25 bucks. But you don't even need to put them together. You can separate the accessories and those themselves. So keep your eye out for these guys. Don't be afraid to ship. They're big, but they're light. It was only like maybe 10, 15 pounds. And you know, you can get it done FedEx ground pretty cheap. So keep that in mind. Okay, so it's we're in summer and people are looking to do a little bit more cooking at home, and so this is a jam and jelly maker, something I have never seen before. Ball Fresh Tech is the brand. Model is FTJM-12-01. And how fun to make your own jelly and your own jam at home. Something that I would like to learn at some point. But I think the reason I paid $14.99 for this is because to them it looked brand new, and quite honestly it was in brand new condition. So even though it was out of box, it was pristine, just like I said. And again, when you use the word pristine, you make sure the thing is absolutely pristine, because they'll, buyers, any one thing and they'll ding you on it. So fun. $79.99 is what I priced it at. $79.99 is what I got for it. $22.19 to ship, $6.13 in tax, so they are $108.31 all in. $14.99 is what I paid. This is definitely a Bolo on this model number and this brand Jam and Jelly Maker. So if you're lucky enough to find it in stores, grab it, and I hope you sell yours as well. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, Matronics. So this is a power supply for like the Dolphin pool cleaners, and I wiped it down a little bit. It was one of those things that came out on a cart at a Goodwill, and they stuck a $4.99? Yeah, they stuck a $4.99 price tag on it because they didn't know what to do with it or what it was all about, and they were like done with it. So just seeing something different that I normally don't see. You see a lot of junk Tupperware, broken glass, like you start recognizing things a lot quicker when you're in stores enough. So this power supply, quite surprisingly, sold for $124.99 because I have never seen one before. I'm familiar with the Dolphin pool cleaners. I just haven't seen the components that power them. So $13.95 to ship, $13.03 in tax. So $151.97. Again, I paid $5. This sold within 24 hours. Gone out the door. It worked as intended. Now when I say it worked as intended, did I plug it into a Dolphin pool cleaner? No, but it powered up like it was supposed to. I did as much research on it as humanly possible, but it worked. It hasn't been returned, so I know the buyer is happy with it. They may have left me good feedback on it. I can't remember, but yeah. So good sale there. Keep your eye out for those. Keep your eye out for pool equipment in general, because again, you still have 2 to 3 weeks of good sales for those items before we start fall season. And the pool situation right now with the pandemic is nuts, so people are at home, they need these items, so keep your eye out for them for sure. Okay, this is an interesting item. So the buyer for an item like this, it's a Belshaw sanitary type K commercial batter dispenser. So this is not in my opinion, like a retail buyer that's looking to just add to their wardrobe, right? This is a commercial restaurant, a commercial establishment of some sort as the likely buyer for this item. So I looked up Belshaw Sanitary Type K. I knew how to price it, and I priced it again on the high end, and that's exactly what I got. I got $99 for this, $13.95 to ship, $6.25 in tax. So the buyer is $120.19 all in. Cost me $4.99. one of those things where it was kind of light, kind of flimsy. The Goodwill pricers are not going to pay attention to an item like this. They're not going to do further research, and these are the types of items that are perfect to capitalize on for thrifters and resellers. So again, a commercial buyer has no problem spending $125 on an item like this, right? It's like water off a duck's back to them in their business for their business. So keep that in mind. But yeah, another one that I guess you say slips through the cracks there at Goodwill, and keep your eye out for them because hey, $100 is pretty sweet on 5. So anyway, good sale. See you later. Gone. All right. I'm not doing a whole lot of clothing, and this was definitely a list and forget because I've held on to this for a long time. So Canterbury is the brand. Let me see if I can get you a picture of the tag here. Here's a little better picture. Canterbury XXL, and then this is what it looks like underneath. Australian Rugby. Nothing on the front other than that, nothing on the back. Just a cool looking Rugby jersey, XXL, and it sold for full price even though it took a long time. So $49.99, they paid $14.90 in shipping and then $4.75 in tax. So $69.64 all in for this item, and it was a $5 purchase at a thrift store. So Canterbury brand. Anytime you see a rugby style shirt, look it up because I feel like there's value in a lot of different brands, not just this Canterbury brand, which I hadn't heard of prior to finding this Bolo, but even some of the other ones. I mean, I can't think of another brand off the top of my head, but there's a few that do rugby style shirts, and they sell for a little bit of a higher price than your regular average everyday short sleeve polo or mid-length sleeve polo shirts. So keep that in mind, but definitely keep your eye out for Canterbury. So good sale there. All right, we're on to the last one. Rest in peace, Kate Spade. This is a 2003 Barbie doll version of her, and the interesting story behind this was there were 2 prices on this doll. This doll was originally priced at $299, and then one of the pricers repriced it for $25. Now, I don't know if that means they looked it up and because of that they changed the price. That's probably the case, but when I was peeling the sticker off, I could see the $299 tag underneath the $24.99 tag. They were stuck together. I was still happy to pay $25 for this doll because she's very rare, she's very beautiful, and you can see even in my description there was only one word needed to describe this doll. It was beautiful, and it was beautiful. So the buyer that purchased this was extremely happy to have purchased it, and I'm fairly certain I was on the high end again at $129.99 for this doll, brand new in an open box. $14.90 for shipping, $15.07 in tax. So they're $159.96 all in, and again I paid $25. God bless you and your family, Kate. We are sorry to no longer have you on planet Earth here, but this was a wonderful, wonderful sale, and I'm hoping that you learned something from this list of 10s. Even though the week was slow for me, I feel like there was a lot to kind of learn, and of course, it's picked up since then with the subsequent weeks here in July. But this one I was like, okay, we're reverting back to normal. This kind of sucks. These are boring times again. I know my listing count is low. I know where I need it to be in order for me to really feel comfortable about working with eBay in the manner that we all are working here. All those free listings that they've just given us is wonderful, and we appreciate that, but I mean, not answering your phone still, there's just a lot of nonsense going on. But that is another point for another day. So hey, that was it for another What Sold on eBay video. Thank you so much. If you are not subscribed, subscribe right now. Smash the like button. Hit the bell notification icon. Do all of those things. And please, leave me comments. Let me know if there was something in here you hadn't seen before, something in here you have also sold, and just keep comments going because we're at the point still in this venture where they're easy for me to get to. So yeah, reach out if you need to reach out. I'm here. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next video.